rest, okay? So the left-hand one, like I say, is your before. Good setup. The grip there's good. Just be careful. Obviously, previously we saw what we called your long long right thumb, and the palm was a bit underneath, kind of pointing upwards. Couple of swings we saw at the start of this lesson, you got that thumb a little bit too far over here, and it just got a bit weak, and that's going to cause that face to open up as you're at the golf ball, okay? But what we're looking for now, here, this swing, like a good backswing now, what we want to try to get you to eventually get towards, I wouldn't say get there fully, but towards there, is that left hip to get through that yellow line. You can see on it now, you sort of basically pivot back away from it, and then you kind of sort of lean your top half forward, whatever, but never really get to that line, okay? This one here on the right now, we practice the movement, okay, through it. So now you're through that yellow line. And again, we don't want the head to be too far on this side of that line. You don't want to be sort of downhill, sort of skiing or finish line, sort of 100 metre, okay? So as you then go back now, same composition, we're now going to move through to that. And if you actually look at that position around about here, look at the knee, where that hip's moving towards, compare that to kind of this one here. The foot's a bit flatter, your weight looks a lot more, your head's a long way back behind the ball, okay? This one here now, your head's a lot more over that left side, okay? And then when you finish, you sort of try to get there, whereas this one here, you're basically there anyway. And again, that for me is a big change in what you've done in the last few months, okay? I would just be mindful of opening up that left foot. If you turn the left foot in, it's going to restrict that left hip, and the knee's not going to want to do that. And as you said, when you asked, does the left leg straighten up? It will straighten up a little bit, It's not going to stay flex. When you turn back, your knee flexes. You don't want to sort of keep it there, because now it's going to put a lot of stress. The leg is basically going backwards, which pulls that hip around. So your left hip movement, once it gets to kind of here, is going back round there, which straightens up that left leg, and that then in turn pulls this side and this side and that side.
I get it.
All come round, So if you try and just turn your right side, what can happen? Your left hip can stall, and then the right hip goes forward this way. If you pull this left hip around, this hip can't stay. I mean, you snap your groin. I mean, the left hip comes on, the right hip's got to kind of get followed around the corner. So that left leg will certainly be turning and going backwards as that left leg straightens, but we're getting more onto that left side. Again, going back to some smaller swings, do that practice where you sort of put the club on the other side, swing to where you want to get to, just get used to that movement back and forth, and then step to the golf ball, 1, 2, 3, hit it. That could be your warm-up swings. And then after you've done that for 5-10 minutes and you think, this is actually going quite good, do some bigger swings, trying to feel that motion. Again, maybe start with a wedge and just see where you get to. How does that feel? If you hit 5 shots and the knee just was absolutely fine, go to 7. If you feel a bit, hang on a second, maybe a little bit more strong that knee I want to, because you've got to learn from your point of view, both physically where you can move and mentally where you trust. Most of the time people can go a lot further than what they let themselves trust. So it's always like when you're doing a bungee jump or jump, you know, I got to go, I can't jump, you attach the strings, hold on to it, I can't. It's hard to make yourself just take that leap off, exactly, because your brain's kind of always going to be self-help to the body, don't want to hurt yourself, So if you're going to try and avoid that, we'll always sort of shy against that, okay? But definitely get that movement to the left-hand side, what we're trying to get, okay? Left leg will straighten, and we can get into that position. Okay, have a couple more then, and we'll see how they go with that 7-iron there. Try maybe sort of 3 or 4 shorter ones, and then just hit one full one, See how it goes,